Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm playing Project Stardust, as you can see, and I'm going to be talking about how to play every class of Star Wars ship in the game, one at a time. So first, we're going to start up here with some support ships. Support ships you want to play very conservatively. Usually they don't have a lot of health, but they'll give you like some sort of buff or something along those lines. Like, for example, this Lancer class is great at taking down missiles. So you want to stick around the closer ships, maybe do a little bit of damage, but just try to take out the enemy's missiles as much as you can. Like, as you can see, I just took down like 3 or 4, and I'm just taking down more. And they're also usually great at taking down, this ship is great at taking down fighters. And sometimes the ships will have buffs, like they'll give you missiles won't work in your range once you activate their ability or something along those lines. So as a support ship, you kind of just want to stick around. You can throw some shots at the enemies over here if you want to, but you probably won't do a ton of damage. It'll be mainly just like throwing some throwaway smaller type shots at the enemy, see what you can do. But that's pretty much support ships. You just try to really support your larger teammates that will do the real big damage here, because they're the ones that you can count on. You can just stick around and throw some shots at the enemy and just kind of let your whatever your power or whatever the support ship's ability is do its thing, and you can just kind of hang out and just let things happen while you just sit there. Like what I'm doing right now, I'm kind of just providing some support for this guy from all the missiles and starfighters that are going to be around. Like, as you can see, there's so many starfighters right there, and all my guns are just lasering outwards at them because they're all right there. Hopefully I can take some out, because I'm doing a lot of damage, I think. But my bigger enemy died, so this would be my opportunity to hide and wait for someone to show back up in a large ship. Not a necessarily a victory, but it's okay. So yeah, that's pretty much how you play support ships. So we're gonna move on from there. Um, as you can see, I got a ton of XP, mainly from missile damage and then spacecraft damage, which is great. And then now we're gonna do the heavy cruisers, which are these ships up to the Onager Star Destroyer. These ships were you kind of just you're still in a support role, but it's not as much. So you would try and take out these smaller ships, for example, the support ships of the game, while also using your fighters, any fighter complement you have. As you can see, I have some X-wings here to go try and do a little bit of damage. Because like this, and you'd just be lobbing some shots at this guy over here while you're sitting here with any guns you had. Oh, this guy's closer. And you just kind of be sitting here shooting, not really doing a ton besides for that. And if you got some hits, but since there's no other ships for me to really aim at, there's not much I can do. But like if there was like a Lancer like I was just using, I would be using that right now, because that would just be so much better for what I need. Because these guns are going to do some damage, but they're not going to do like the most damage ever. So I need to have something else to give me some like ships destroyed or something. Because I will have more maneuverability and speed than the larger ships that kind of just sit there and shoot at each other with as many guns as they have. But as you can see, I'm doing a little bit of damage here, not a ton, but a little bit. So yeah, that's pretty much heavy cruisers. You should be just aiming for like the smaller ships that you can find and trying to avoid the big ones pretty much. And now we're going to move on to, I'm not going to do any light cruisers here because these are kind of the basic ships, so they're just kind of there. We're going to move on to the destroyers. Destroyers kind of vary in how good they are, but usually they're just they fit the same role as the heavy cruisers, except they have less firepower. So you'll want to use them wisely. They're good in certain situations, and they usually have more missiles than a heavy cruiser would have. As you can see, this is the Harrower. It has like 8 missiles, and it has a couple more fighters. So it's better for the larger ship engagements of like just sitting in the back trying to do some damage and not really doing much else, because you can just use your fighters and everything like that and try and win, even though it probably won't be all that successful. It's alright, but they can have some high amounts of um, missiles and stuff, but usually not. That's gonna hurt. Yeah, and they have very little health. Like, they have more health than the heavy cruisers, but not a lot of health. Like, I'm getting destroyed right here. Like, destroyed. So yeah, that's destroyers for you. Pretty easy. Now pretty much the easiest ship to play as, carrier. You literally just spawn in right here, set a target on anybody, probably usually the closest guy that's alone. I'll set a target on this guy over here, and he's not going to be alive for long enough. And then you just pretty much click the fighters you want to do, have them launch, and then have them go attack your target. And then you can kind of just hide in the back and try to do any amount of support you can, even though it probably won't be much, because you don't have a ton of armament except for your fighters. But your fighters can do some real damage. Like some real damage. And so can my missiles. My missiles are pretty good. Like, I'm doing some okay damage right now. I'm doing quite a lot of damage actually. But this is a pretty good carrier, so I'm not super surprised. As you can see, my fighters are dying a little bit, but they're getting a ton of damage in, so that's alright, that's alright. Gotta shoot my missiles off real quick, and then just keep firing. Try to do as much damage as possible before I die here. In carriers, usually you would stay in the back, don't go in like I just did, and just kind of try and do some damage, get a surprise of people. That's pretty much it. Now we're on to like a capital ships. The match just ended, but we're on the capital ships, and I will be grouping all of these ships. Doesn't matter if it's like says like battle cruiser or something like that. I'm gonna group all of these ships together because they all provide pretty much the same experience. So with all of these ships, your goal is to literally just beat the enemy in damage with your main guns, and that just means right when you spawn in, just find the closest enemy, just start shooting at them. You'll have a ton of health. You'll be able to survive a lot of damage. So you just want to take the hits and keep firing back, and hopefully you'll be able to win. And that's pretty much the only way you play them. They're pretty simple. You just try and take as many hits as you can and give out back as many hits as you can. Like right here, I'm gonna spawn in. I can't shoot at anyone. I don't even know what team I'm on. I didn't look. That's my bad. Okay, so it's not that guy. So it's yellow. I won't be able to shoot this guy forever. So I might just, because these things are so slow. Capital ships. And I don't have any missiles to speak of. But I'll try a little bit of light fire. Because your guns do have a maximum range, which is quite sad. As you can see, he just literally mauled me with 4 missiles. So I'm dead, and he's launching fighters, and they're about to come kill me. Defend self. So yeah, this is gonna be really exciting. But yeah, capital ships, you just kind of want to sit here, shoot at the other big guy that's shooting at you, and hopefully you can deal some damage and maybe get a win. They're pretty easy though. So that would be how you play every ship in Project Stardust. That's about it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and join the Discord if you're interested. And I will see you next time.